Welcome to Jamaica, the largest English-speaking island in the Caribbean Sea. Jamaica is about 90 miles south of Cuba. The island is vulnerable to hurricanes through the months of June and November because of its location within the Caribbean hurricane belt. The area occupied by Jamaica is slightly smaller than the state of Connecticut. Jamaica's population is nearly 3 million. The capital city, Kingston, is located on the country's southeastern coast and is the largest city. Jamaica earned its independence on August 6, 1962. The flag of Jamaica was adopted on the same day and consists of a gold saltire which divides the flag into four sections, two of them green and two black. This is the story of Jamaica. Historians believe that the Arawak and Tiano peoples that originally inhabited the island came from South America and settled between 4000 and 1000 BC. During this time period, Christopher Columbus discovered the island and claimed it for Spain. Over the next 40 years, a few Spanish settlements were built, and in the early 1500s, the first Spanish colonists occupied Jamaica. The indigenous Arawak community died from exposure to European diseases, and as a result, the colonists brought African slaves to work on sugar plantations. The British took control of the island in 1655. When the English captured Jamaica, the Spanish colonists fled, freeing their slaves. Those slaves ran into the mountains and lived with any surviving Tianos. They became known as the Jamaican Maroons. During the first 200 years of British rule, Jamaica became one of the world's largest sugar exporting nations. Slavery was abolished by Britain in 1838. Banana plantations were established as the sugarcane industry declined. Jamaica's capital moved from Spanish Town to Kingston, and Kingston became the island's capital. Jamaica continued to gain increasing levels of independence from the United Kingdom. In 1938, the PNP was founded by Norman Manley. The Jamaican Labour Party was founded with Alexander Bustamante as head in 1943. In 1944, the new constitution ended Crown Colony status in Jamaica. Jamaica became a member of British-sponsored federations of the West Indies in 1958 and later withdrew in 1961. In 1962, Jamaica became independent and Alexander Bustamante became the first prime minister. Over the first few years of independence, the Jamaican economy grew significantly. Tourism was a major contributor. Through the 1970s and 80s, governments came and went, debt levels increased, and the economy declined along with tourism. In 1988, Hurricane Gilbert devastated Jamaica. Later in 1999, fuel prices increased by 30% and caused violent protests and riots. In 2001, troops moved in to restore order in the capital of Kingston. Again in September 2004, Jamaica was destroyed, this time by Hurricane Ivan. In March 2006, Portia Simpson Miller was elected as head of the PNP and became Jamaica's first female prime minister. Upon returning to the office again, in 2012, Ms. Simpson Miller says that 50 years after Jamaica gained its independence from Britain, it was time for the country to break with the British monarchy and become a republic. Jamaica celebrated 50 years of independence in August 2012. Now let's take a look inside Jamaican schools. The Ministry of Education was officially established in June of 1953 and is headed by the Honorable Minister of Education, who has the ultimate policy responsibility and authority for the development of education for the Jamaican citizens. Their philosophy is that every child can learn, every child must learn. The national shared vision is that each learner will maximize his or her potential in an enriching, student-centered educational environment with maximum use of learning technologies, supported by committed, qualified, and professional educators and staff. The 6 years of primary school education in Jamaica is mandatory and free. Children receive their instruction in English and remain there between the ages of 6 and 12. School may be state-owned or private preparatory schools. At the end of grade 6, students in primary level schools may take the grade 6 achievement examination in order to gain admittance to high school. In addition to the 6th grade achievement examination, other components of the National Assessment Program are the Grade 1 Individual Learning Profile, the Grade 3 Diagnostic Test, and the Grade 4 Literacy Test. Based on the grades students gain on the Grade 6 Achievement Examination, they are placed into high schools or the secondary department of all-age and primary and junior high schools. At the all-age and junior high schools, they can continue to grades 7, 8, or 9, where they are allowed to sit the technical entrance examination in grade 8 for entrance to technical schools, and the grade 9 achievement test to other types of high schools. These give students additional opportunities to gain entrance into high schools they desire to attend. The secondary or high school system consists of 2 cycles. The first cycle commences in grades 7 through 9 of all age, primary, and junior high schools and high schools, including technical high schools and independent or private high schools. The second cycle is provided in grades 10 and 11 of these schools, with the exception of all age and primary and junior high schools. At the end of grade 11, students sit the Caribbean Secondary Education Certification subjects administered by the Caribbean Examination Councils. Some high schools have continuing education programs provided under the Career Advancement Program and the Sixth Form Pre-University Program, which is grades 12 and 13, where students are prepared for entry into tertiary institutions. Students who are in the Sixth Form set the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examination at the ends of grades 12 and 13. At the tertiary level, teacher education includes a 3-year diploma program. At the end of the program, teachers possess the necessary competencies to take their place as leaders in society. These competencies encompass knowledge and understanding of their teaching subjects, appropriate educational expertise, and understanding of their role as teachers. Teachers will be expected to provide experiences that involve a high degree of interaction between teachers and students with meaningful dialogue and discussion. From what you've learned in this video, you can see that the Jamaican education system differs greatly from that of the American education system. For one, Jamaican education only provides free education up until the age of 12 or grade 6. Second, they have very many different routes when going through secondary education, including optional middle schools to increase education and preparedness for high schools, as well as different high school routes preparing for tertiary institutions or other routes such as vocational technical schools.